Yo, what is up YouTube fam? It's HitoriFX here again with the weekly outlook video. This is actually my second time recording this because the first recording didn't have audio and it was bugged out, so that is unfortunate. But yeah, so late outlook. This is more like a pre-London outlook because I couldn't get to recording last night and I had stuff to do in the morning, so I just finally got on. So yeah, let's just gonna get into and see what we can find on EU, GU, and gold, because no one actually commented on what other pairs I should look at. So I just figured I'd just stick with the tree that I broke down last week, which turned out pretty good. So on EU right here on the H4, we don't really have anything solid to play it from because we just took out this structure and this structure. So technically we are bearish. Issue being that, you know, we didn't really mitigate anything on this 50%. We tapped into this M15 audio sell wicks, which caused this entire reaction. Unexpected, but whatever, you know, we just played the reactions anyway. Can't really predict any of that to happen. But so currently we are caught within this entire move downwards, right? Where's my leg freaking disappeared? I mean, my fib disappeared. So currently we are caught within this larger external range right here, from this high to this low, and from the intraday range is more like this high to this low right here. So a few zones to look at. Currently we do have this M15 range, which is also a H4 bio sell wicks. We also have this H4 engulf candle, both of which I am not really expecting to hold because they aren't really important. Something more obvious would be something within here. This is I guess you can see the extreme of the reaction leg to this H4 demand. This bio sell wicks is the flip, or this is the flip for you, depending on how you see things, because some people don't take wicks as flips. And this on the M15 is a bit more clearer, but here it is. So it came down, took out structure, retraced back to mitigate this, and then this is the more obvious H4 mitigation. But in this case, this was the second mitigation. So on the M15 at least, this is actually a supply chain being built. The only issue is that this supply chain doesn't have any form of liquidity, so it could mitigate higher before the true move. There isn't like an obvious sweep anywhere. That I don't think so. There isn't. So yeah. So when this kind of like scenario happens where there isn't an obvious sweep within a supply chain, normally I need to wait for either one to be swept, or I'll just play whatever shows its hand after we have showed that we are respecting supply and we're turning bearish, because this may be a bit odd because there isn't a sweep anywhere. It could literally retrace back and mitigate to the extreme of the supply chain and it will still be valid, so that is kind of scary. But inducement could be built before entry. I'm still expecting price to come up because this is where we see evidence of market sellers being involved compared to down here. Like this is a M15 range, also a H4 bio sell wicks, also a chalk range, I'd say. But I'm still expecting it to come up higher because we are technically selling in discount if you use the fit to kind of like check out your legs. I am so lame, bro. I actually suck dick. But yeah, so M15, this is more like a H4 engulf candle with the M15 refined zone here. This is also an M15 bio sell range in form of H4 wicks. So I'm not expecting this to hold, but if it comes up and shows you an obvious sweep and it goes, maybe you could play that. But for now, I guess the best way is to see if any of these fail. Maybe you could look for longs up into the next zone up top, because we are still quite a ways away from this zone or this price right here. So you could technically play longs if they set up, because we are in dire need of a pullback. We don't need one. I mean, we need one, but we don't really necessarily get one all the time. So keep that in mind if you are planning to go die hard on, you know, longing the market. Like buy the dip, sure, you know, like, oh, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Yeah, so don't buy the dip, don't be stupid. So play whatever shows its hand. Something I've also realized on EU compared to other pairs is that recently recently in terms of like months, at least like since June, July, I've seen that price kind of like respects zones really often these days. Like they don't really come back to refinements. I mean, I will still refine my zones, of course, but like there is a higher chance that it could just come up to something random like this, literally this entire zone, and just dip. So do keep that in mind. I don't really have any stats on how much it plays out in terms of probabilities, but just something to keep in mind. So yeah, let's move on to GU. Damn, it's so hard to record for a second time. I'm so tired. God damn. Right, so this is GU on the H4. This is even worse than EU. Holy fuck, this is so bad. Like, this is horrible. How do you even trade this? Like, look at this steep move without a single bullish candle to even draw out an engulf candle. It's just buy or sell wicks. This is ugly, bro. Holy fuck. I mean, like, I don't know. Ugly. Anyway, so maybe you could wait for more structure to form, because this is just buy or sell wicks all along here. There isn't even a single H4 doji candle or some shit. It's literally just like a big move. Like, even on the M15 there isn't anything obvious. Like, this is just break, range mitigation, break, mitigation, break, mitigation, break, mitigation, break. So really efficient pricing. By that I mean really ugly, because there isn't any momentum. So this H4, this M15 range, which is also a H4 wicks, buy or sell wicks, do not have inducement as of the moment. So I will need something to be built, because this is just so ugly and there's nothing to trade within this. So good thing is you could just play the pullback in this case, because I'm pretty sure this will be corrected to a certain degree. Maybe something up top. You could literally just like slap a buy right here and then put your stop loss below the candle or this candle, and just target something like literally something like this. Like literally just do this right now. Pip. Your stop loss would probably be down here. You could like literally target like this zone. 6 hours not bad. This zone for like 10 hour even better. Yeah. I'm actually just fucking kidding. Don't do that. You could though, but still expecting price to come up higher into something something within here, because this is where we kind of see more interactions. There actually is a fundamental reason for this huge drop. I won't explain much about it because you can read it online. But if you are interested in me breaking down some fundamental news as a finance student, I could, I guess, but I'm just so lazy right now. But in the next video, maybe, I don't know. So comment down if you want that. But I mean, on the F15, maybe this be fine zone, but like, it's all just whack essentially. You know what? It's all just so whack. I don't even I'm more into something like this. Like we have this obvious extreme demand wick. This we came down, pushed up. This is kind of like this extreme right here. This is the reaction. And then we broke demand, came up, swept the reaction. And then we also have potential liquidity being built below for this extreme of the red, or this liquidity POI right here. This is the sweep. So something like that, maybe. But then again, it's still so far away, bro. Like, dude, we literally died. Pound USD died, bro. Like, this is so depressing. But if I were you, I'd probably wait for some form of order flow to kick in, because you can't really just buy off of the expectations that we're going to pull back, because we don't have to pull back. You know, I mean, we want it to, but then it doesn't have to. You could really just drop from here, you know. But I'd say if you want to just literally just buy, just put your stop loss here and just hope for the best. You know, this H4 zone, no, nothing else, honestly. I'd probably wait for reactions to something maybe like this, failure, and I'll go long like that. The model, essentially. The chalk here doesn't make sense just because of how fucked up this is. So no chalk, just purely play order flow and play you know, flips and stuff like that. All right, peace. Next pair is gold. Let's take a look at what gold has to offer. All right, so this is gold on the H4. We are also bearish on gold. Dollars is looking too good right now. So we took out this major structure. We are currently trapped within this range and this bigger external range. So if you're thinking of selling here, you would be technically selling in discount, which isn't a good thing. But then again, you would have been selling in discount here anyway. And look at where it dropped to. So it's really just a confluence. If you can find a good zone in discount to sell from, I don't see why you shouldn't look to sell from there. But on the H4, we actually have this. I personally saw this as a sweep, because we actually swept all this liquidity up top, and then we came down, took out structure by just a bit, and then we came back up again to mitigate something here. So we swept both sides quite aggressively, and then this leaves us with this H4 wick that we swept this, came down, mitigated something here, and continue bearish. So technically there is something within this area or this price. It actually, I think it actually, yep, it is an M15 refined candle. So I'll just delete the H41, and we have this supply chain on the M15 forming. This is the initial tap. We saw a reaction, and then the reaction got swept. So this is what we would call early sellers being taken out as liquidity. So this is now a liquidity POI. We also have something here in the form of a low being respected. We came up, right? Didn't take out any sort of M15 swing structure. It's all just internal, really. But we took out this low right here. This pullback was the one that took out this low, and then this structure, lightly, because we saw this break, people were looking to do something like this, but then we got taken out right here. And then we can kind of base it on this mitigating this, sweeping this as inducement, and then we see this huge ass reaction to kind of like make the assumption that this is a sweep valid, because we came up and we came down, took out this structure, and then this structure took out this structure. So now it's a valid sweep for me. Oops. So this is now a POI to trade from, but we are still so far away from it. So for more recent pricing, I'd probably say this is the, I don't know, I guess you could say extreme of the reaction leg, because we came up, left the zone. Just zoom in real quick. Yeah, so we came up, came down, extreme of the reaction leg, and we failed. So this is the apex, I guess. It came up of nothing, so not important. And this zone, which is like a really sketchy zone that was formed during late New York last week on Friday. This chart doesn't make sense to me right now. It's just all just messy. I mean, we did chart bullish but then we kind of took out the structure again, so nothing. The shock would be here, and then the high that took out that low would be like here. So now, if even if we chop bullish on the M15, we would actually be coming into a supply that held, not really held, just like a random supply zone right now, because we didn't really leave much before this push in. Like, I want my zones to have something like this. Like, this is a supply. I want it to like actually leave before we come back. We didn't leave shit, you know. So I don't see this as a proper mitigation. So this is technically for me an unmitigated supply zone with potential liquidity below. But really just aiming for this and something up top, because technically we are also in discount and this is just really ugly. So yeah, if this fails, I think I will need this to fail to consider going long, because this is not really that important for me. It's just like a zone I drew out just in case it does come out to go short from. But I need this to fail for me to signify longs technically. I think if this fails, you could technically go long to this zone to take profits or take partials. But overall, to play the pullback, I say we need this to fail. So yeah. Also coincides with the internal 50%. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Last week's outlook played pretty well, but this week looks like shit without it even starting. So yeah, if you're interested in how I trade, you know, I actually do offer a few services which are paid. I offer one-on-one coaching calls. I also offer a markup channel where I share my outlooks, like pre-London, pre-New York outlooks, and I also share markups every day. I have been caught slacking last week, but you know, it is what it is. This week I'm back into it, so if you're interested, do hit me up on Instagram at HitoriFX, and I'll see you guys next week, I guess, or the next video. So peace.